Do you worry that you'll see a slump in business over the festive period because people have a misconception that it's a terrible time to sell their homes and won't want to book you to stage their properties? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you how that doesn't have to be the case. You can create an angle around this in a marketing campaign to see a surge in business and your profits soar. With that, let's dive in. So I spoke with my business coach a couple of years ago and mentioned how I was worried about the Christmas and festive period pretty much across all of my companies because we don't sell the traditional Christmas gift. Although investing in yourself is the best gift you could give yourself, most people are very hyper-fixed on Christmas gifts, getting ready for the big day, and it's a chaotic time. There's also this misconception in the real estate world that Christmas is a bad time to list a property because everyone is so highly fixed on the big day. And whilst that is relatively true, what they're missing is this one missing ingredient. And it could be the missing ingredient from your marketing message at this time of year too. And that is that it can actually be the best time to sell your property. So consider this a mini masterclass on how you can avoid a holiday slump in your staging business and make it soar. So my first piece of advice, I'm going to give you 3 different campaigns that you can run this Christmas in your staging business. Number 1 is using this very stat that I'm going to give you. We actually see a surge in viewings of properties online between the 27th and the 29th of December. Then we see another huge, even bigger surge of views on the 1st of January. Now there's a few reasons behind this. After Christmas Day is over, many people realise that their house is either too small, they've had all the family round and there wasn't enough room, or that their house is too big. Perhaps they had a lonely Christmas, the kids have moved away, and they're not coming round like they used to. So it's a big moment of realisation in the average person's life where they realise that change is needed, and they start to search for that new opportunity between the 27th and the 29th. Now the next surge on the 1st of January, I'm sure you can guess why. New Year's resolutions, talking about how they want to change for the year ahead, and moving location, perhaps moving job, which would require a new location, or just a fresh start. And so people start to look at where they could move to, what house they could live in, and if they could list their own home. And so this is where we can come in as home stagers and really position ourselves as the expert. Using this stat, and I will link the official stats in the description below from the different websites like Zillow, Rightmove, you can use this very stat in a marketing campaign to really boost your sales. So here's how I would do it. So how I'd position this in a marketing campaign is I would use this very stat. Having these statistics and this knowledge instantly places you as an expert because there is the huge misconception that this is a bad time to sell. If I was creating a social media campaign and speaking from experience, I would set up a countdown to Christmas to really share how many days left your audience has to stage their property for that December and January surge in viewings. You might even want to partner this with a special offer that if your client gets their property staged before Christmas Day, you will give them some sort of incentive to do that. That could look like a financial incentive, as is a discount, or it could be, which is a better idea, or it could be extra week rental onto their original package. So for example, on average, you rent for 6 weeks, but ultimately you're now going to do it for 8 to cover that over that period where it is a little bit quieter, but to make sure they're staged in time for that surge. This campaign alone should boost your sales, but we can also pair it with 2 more campaigns that I'm going to share with you. Now, the second campaign that I have also hosted that has been a home run has been a Christmas themed networking event. Now, the reason I love this is that we know the festive period is a very social time of grabbing drinks and food with family and friends before the day. And so this is also where we see a huge increase in the amount of networking events, but also the huge amount of attendance to these events, but also a huge increase in attendance to these events because people do like that jolly festive spirit of them. With me, if I were to do this for my company, I would host this as like an end of year celebration party to really celebrate our business, our client success, and our partnerships. Invite those who you've worked with throughout the year, including clients, partnerships that you've had, and have a festive theme to the event. Now, I wouldn't recommend any direct selling because I want this to feel like a treat for your partners and your clients and not a sales event. The fact that they're in your presence within your brand and are getting this community aspect is enough for them to want to keep that loyalty and stick around with you for another year. It's not to say I wouldn't have business angles of the event, such as branded swag, branded drinks, and different shareable ideas where my attendees can actually promote the business and the event, but I wouldn't be doing any direct selling. With this as well, you can have examples of your work. If you rent a space that isn't particularly furnished well, you could stage that space, do Christmas decorations, or even have something like a slideshow to celebrate all of your clients' properties throughout the year. Now, if you're not exhausted from your campaign and your networking event, I have one final idea to make sure that you are pushing sales at the end of the year, and that is with gifts. Of course, this time of year is the biggest gift giving season of the year, but we also want to get in on some of that action. I recommend looking at who some of your top clients are and sending them really thoughtful, personalized gifts. The more personalized, the better the response and the better the relationship. So consider, what can you send to these partners that's specific to them? Is there something that's came up in conversation that you can now send them a really thoughtful gift paired with that? Now, to take this even one step further, don't just consider doing this for the one partner that you work with. If they have a team, provide gifts for all of that team. And if you want to then be remembered in January for that January spike in business, how about considering a New Year's gift also as like a second part, or you might opt for New Year rather than the Christmas period anyway. With all of these proactive strategies in place to really create a surge in business and a boost in your sales, you should not be experiencing a slump over the festive period. All of this is about your mindset at this time of year, and all of this is about the angle in which you take throughout your marketing message. So if you go in with a positive angle on how this is the best time of the year, there is business to be done.